Live from the Barrel Burners Lounge, welcome to Coffee and Cigars Live, where bold flavors meet bold conversations. Pour a coffee and light one up. It's time for the show.
Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? What's going on, Rob? Thanks for being here today.
What up, dude?
Brutus, you win the award. You were the first in chat before the stream even started, as always. Appreciate the loyalty, man. I was streaming video games on Twitch last night, and he even popped in my Twitch and kept me company for an hour last night. I got some diehards.
What game are you playing?
Destiny 2 last night.
Okay.
I bounced back between Destiny 2, Call of Duty, and Fallout 76. The wife plays Fallout 76, so I'll play that with her. Me and the kid like shooters, so we'll do Call of Duty. And then I've been a day one Destiny 1 player, so I played Destiny for the whole 10 years it's been in existence. What's up, Donnie? Good morning.
What's up, Donnie?
You do a little gaming?
I used to. I haven't so much lately, but I was like I'm going back to like Xbox 360, like PS2 days. That was my glory days.
Yeah, the PS2 days, man. PS2 was it was definitely game changing. Got two of your sticks on deck. Good job, Donnie. Way to support for this stream.
That a boy, Donnie.
Which two did you get, Donnie?
That's the golden era of gaming. Agreed.
Oh, 100%. And you're probably close about my age. How old are you, Rob?
I'm coming up on 39.
Oh, you're a baby. I'm 45, so I grew up basically in the boom. I had the original Sega Master System. A lot of people don't even know existed. Then I went to Sega Genesis. I was always a Sega guy. We had the Atari, the first Nintendo. So definitely grew up in the boom where I got to play and have all the systems. So we grew up in a great time.
Bro, I had a Sega Saturn.
Oh, yeah. I had Sega CD that flopped because they were too early with their technology.
Yeah.
They flopped, and then PlayStation 1 comes
Sega
out.
Dreamcast. I had Dreamcast.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Shinobi. Yes. I like the Rambo on Sega
Let's talk on. So if you guys like Shinobi, I have to take advantage of this segue, this lead-in. So, and we'll touch more on all the cigars, but my fourth core line cigar, new blend, which is being made at La Isla by Ostos, which is coming out, I think, in September. We're going to shoot for the release. Ecuadorian Sumatran blend, and that cigar is called Shinobi.
No shit. No way. That's fucking hilarious. Gonna have some 8-bit graphics on it.
So it's Shinobi, because my brand the Tradecraft name taps into the espionage stuff a lot, and Tradecraft, and there's no group of individuals throughout history who had better. The ninja invented fucking Tradecraft. I have a book right here. Check this out.
True Path of the Ninja. That's awesome.
This is actually the Ninja Tradecraft manual. Look at the random page. First one I opened to. It's literally instruction manual on Tradecraft. How to get over a high place and get in through a low barrier. That's chapter 18. So anyway, I've always been in the Japanese art, tattoos, weapons, samurai, the whole history. I really wanted to do a cigar that tapped into that. And there's been so many Japanese cigars. I mean, I got a box of geishas right behind me. Like, there's so much.
That's the Viaje.
That's the Viaje. Yeah. Alec Bradley's got the Kintsugis and the Kitsune and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, I got to find something. And then Shinobi popped into the brain box, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome. Hell of a segue, by the way, that we bring up Shinobi and we go right to, hey, I got a cigar coming out.
Thank you, Big Brutus. Tip of the hat to you.
Yeah, Brutus is a big time collector. So he is a video game collector. All the classic. He has the classic consoles, all the games, the boxes. So he has a pretty majestic collection of old school video games. So that's his hobby. I break out the old system as they're
That's
now.
awesome.
Broke out the Nintendo 64, and I was like, man, GoldenEye. And I put GoldenEye in for me and my son, and he goes, Dad, this is trash. I go,
Because
yeah,
this
I
is
remember
dog
it being
shit.
a lot better.
Do you remember? I mean, back in the day, GoldenEye was my shit, man.
It was inverted aim and all that. I get back on there, and I'm like, holy shit, I don't remember how to do nothing. It's all opposite.
Yeah, up is down, down is up.
Yeah,
It was yeah, that game. I had a lot of fond memories playing that game.
We did that, man, with the hidden tunnels and cutting through the map, and that's all right, Brutus. You got too many channels. All right, Rob. Well, let's get to you, brother. We appreciate you being here, man. We're happy to have you in our Discord. But I guess let's give a little background on who Rob is and how you were in the business already before Tradecraft. And then I'm kind of interested on how we got to the Tradecraft name. I'm always a history guy, so I like knowing how did we get here.
It's part of my retro hail sequence. So, who is Rob? How did I get here? What is Tradecraft? What's my history in the business? So, I'm fifth generation in the cigar business. My family goes back in trading cigars and tobaccos to like the 1880s in the Carolina region. And then, awesome. Yeah, so that was fifth generation. And since then, there's been on the Blumenthal side, a man in my family who's been in cigars and tobacco from that point to me today, where I stand as the fifth generation. My great uncle, my dad's uncle, Dan Blumenthal, he was the owner of Villazon company, which we owned Punch, Hoyo de Monterey, El Rey del Mundo, Excalibur, a bunch of other brands under the Villazon conglomerate. We built the Honduran America Tobacco Factory, HOTSA, which is now one of the STG's big factories in Honduras. So that was our factory. And my family sold that company, Villazon, to General Cigar in 1996, 1997. That's how STG today owns Punch, Hoyo de Monterey, and El Rey del Mundo. It came from that transaction. They bought General Cigar. General Cigar bought us. So it's crazy to see like this progression of these brands of these bigger tobacco companies, and knowing how we got from there to here and how they got from there to here is pretty cool. So anyway, we own a bunch of big brands for a very long period of time. And my father bought the Tinderbox company of stores in 1980. And that's been in my family from then to today. And I've also now run the Tinderbox company as president and CEO for like close to the last 2 years. And I'm sitting in my store in Haverford, Pennsylvania right now.
So how many stores y'all have, Rob?
So Tinderbox is a franchise. Mm-hmm. I have over 20 franchisees across the country still at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be a lot more than that in its peak. But I'm actively now slowly trying to rebuild it and get new franchisees in the fold. So if there's any burners out there that want to pursue
we all want to open lounges. So was COVID the culprit of the number dwindling down?
No. I mean, mind you, we're going back to the 80s and 90s, during the boom where like 90s through 2000, where like every single person and their mother wanted to be in cigars, right? So my dad really built up the unit count over those probably 2-decade period and got to a point where it's these people were original owners. A lot of them were older, and literally they just grew. They retired. They sold the businesses. A lot of them were in malls, where the malls were like, "Nah, you can't have cigars in here anymore. We can't smoke in malls anymore." So it was kind of organic of the original owner operators just kind of phasing out, retiring, and just kind of changing the market dynamics of like, because we had so many stores in major shopping malls, not just strip malls, like interior, like shopping malls.
When you could still smoke inside of malls.
Right. And
like
that's
when we grew up.
now yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that was a major part of the business model. And so when the malls like said, like, we're not renewing your lease, or even worse, like, you got to get out of here. It's like those people, a lot of those operators were like, oh, I'm not going to like go through the hassle of like opening up another location. I'm just going to fucking be done.
Yeah, I get that. Age does that with a lot of businesses. Technology comes along and pushes a lot of the old fogies out, or changes in the way things are done. Man, the retro hell on this cigar is pretty fascinating.
This cigar is fascinating for me because, like we were talking before we went on live, I don't love most Connecticut's, just to be honest. There's a few that I really like, but when I find a Connecticut I really like, I really can appreciate it and enjoy it. Well, so when I blended this cigar with Weber, I said to him, like, if we're making a Connecticut, it's got to have body.
Yes.
It's got to have balls. It's really got to have tons of flavor and complexity. That's what the story is with all my blends. That's like the fundamental ethos of me, of Tradecraft, of my blending style. It's like full flavor, complexity, total palate stimulation. But even more so in this Connecticut, I really haven't smoked in Connecticut like it, because it's really tapping into that sweet, earthy, sour kind of profile that lingers on your palate, almost like a Cuban-esque type experience, where when you smoke a good Cuban, the one thing that when I could tell people, it's like, oh, this is a good Cuban, it's got that sour, sweet earth that lingers on your palate. It coats your palate, and it stays on like as a really nice aftertaste.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think we're delivering on the Vitruvian here.
Yeah, Donnie, we're smoking that one, and good morning to you as well, Jeff.
So it's got a lot going on.
Yeah, we touch on that a lot on our lives and our different shows, the way Connecticut's are now. Because when I first started smoking cigars, people put me on the Connecticut's, and I hated them. I couldn't taste any flavor, no transition. So I immediately went to Maduro and San Andreas, and I started loving cigars. But now that I've learned to pick things out of cigars, I go back and I actually love the Connecticut experience. That's 99% of what I smoke on the show, because it goes with coffee. I'm doing that. But we talk about, there's your grandpa's Connecticut's, and then there's modern day boutique Connecticut's that add the pepper and the spice and the complexity. And the Connecticut's being blended now are not what Connecticut's were. And that's what's making, in my opinion, Connecticut's more enjoyable now, because back in the day, people would tell you, oh, if it's a light wrapper, it's not strong, or it don't have this. I've had some Connecticut's put me on my ass. I mean, there's done right that you can get a good cigar in a Connecticut. And this is another good example of that right now, guys.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's 100% right. I mean, I think the one thing that's really nice about today's market and today's customer is that the palate has definitely advanced. It's changed. I mean, I remember I started smoking when I was 13. So going back, and I started working in this store when I was 15. And that's when I really started smoking the cigars and exploring. And so that would have been 2002. And we're still getting it. That's like still kind of old. I would say the beginning of the end of the legacy domination boutiques would be coming into the scene a few years thereafter, but most of the stuff on the like that was, I remember like that was when the original like Rocky Patels started coming out, Perdomos, like all these other stuff, like, those were considered boutique. Like Drew Estate dropped acid around that, like that was the big thing. But I remember smoking a lot of cigars back then. And I was like, ugh, like they just were grassy, just straight tobacco-y type taste.
Grass.
And I was like, what is, like, I'm not loving this. And then I started smoking. We used to sell Davidoff, so I picked up a Davidoff. I was like, oh, this is something different. I can see what this could potentially be. I'm like, this is, like, I had a few moments. I still remember when I was 15, I smoked that first one. I'm like, ooh, like you get that blast of something that's different. And you're like, I was not expecting that flavor. And it gets you, it shows you what the possibilities of tobacco could be. So
yeah, it's the youth boom, man. It's everybody now our age or a little younger in the business that has a fresh take on things, that are shaking up how things are made. They're not sticking to the old blah, 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 do it this, and I can't speak enough about the whole boutique and everything about it and what you guys do and the quality of cigars, the price points, the everything, man. It definitely changed my life. When I went, it's funny because I did 10 years ago, I did a humidor video on YouTube, a tour, what was in my humidor. And I go back now, every now and then I watch that video and I'm like, dude, there's probably only one of those brands in my humidor now from 10 years ago.
Right.
Everything changed once I went boutique. It's a whole new world out there.
It's an exciting time in a lot of ways to be a cigar smoker. It's, it's a wonderful, what's happening in the boutique scene right now is good. It's a lot more, it's net good. There's a lot of bad happening. I mean, there's a lot of shit happening as far as just new stuff coming out all the time, where it's kind of hard to weed. There's a lot of noise. You have to weed through the chaff a little bit. And as a brand owner and a producer, it's difficult time out there, but the cream rises to the top. And
that's what Macho Man said.
It always does. Yeah, brother. So, but it's overall, I'm grateful to see where today's consumer, today's palate has gotten to. And it's fun because we're pushing the envelope on flavor, on what a cigar could be, what kind of experience a cigar can deliver you.
Yeah. So, well, let's touch on your brand right now. So right now you have 3 core brands. You're going to have a 4th coming out later this year. So the 3 you have currently now, they're rolled at William Ventura. Yeah,
they're produced at Tabaclair. William Ventura Weber is my production partner. He's like my brother. And he makes the 3 core lines right now, which is the Vitruvian Connecticut, the Azorian, which is my medium.
Oh, I did say that right yesterday on my video. I was like, is it Azorian? I'm going to butcher this.
Yeah, Azorian, which is the Habano blend. I think I have one in my box right here.
Yeah, the Habano, and then he's got the Gladius, guys, which, that's a Azorian. Oh, perfect. The Gladius, that thing earned a spot in my humidor forever. Let's talk about that blend. That cigar, guys. I immediately messaged him. I was like, wow, this cigar is different. This cigar is special. That's going to be the one that puts you on the map for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So if I say it once, I will say it probably 10 times on this fucking podcast because I can't stress it enough. All my blends are blended 100% to my palate. So whether it's the Gladius and the Medora profile or this Connecticut, it represents what I absolutely love most in that type of format. So this Connecticut is is literally like my favorite Connecticut. It's got all the flavors and sensations that I love most in a mild to medium type of smoke. experience. So the Gladius is capturing every type of flavor, every type of sensation that I like most from a fuller body Maduro. That was the first blend, first line that we produced, Weber and I, and he just fucking nailed it. I mean, we spent about 6 weeks before I went down that to the Dominican for the first time to test the samples, discussing that blend and talking about the types of tobaccos I like, the types of kind of flavor profiles I like, and the sensations I like on the palate. And when I say sensations, that's a tip of the hat to Henke Kellner, and that's where Weber learned from at Davidoff for 20 years. So Henke, who's one of the greatest in the industry ever, and Weber, like when we're blending, we're talking about, when Weber and I make a cigar, we're not talking about, oh, I want chocolate, I want strawberry shortcake, I want oatmeal cookie raisin. We're saying that's not how they do it. They're like, we're talking about the actual tobaccos that activate the certain areas of your palate. So the Gladius, for example, it's got tons of sweetness. Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of savoriness. It's got acidity, which hits the back and the sides of your palate. It's got some pleasant spice. So we're talking in like literally like the gastronomy of your mouth, your tongue, like you would as a chef almost, right? And the physiology and how the different tobaccos interact with the different areas of your tongue and your palate and what they do. So the Gladius, San Andreas Maduro, it's like everybody's making a San Andreas Maduro. But I like that wrapper. It blends really nicely. It's flavorful. All three of my core lines at the moment, I have a Sumatran binder. But the Gladius is the filler, the tripa, and that 60% of that comes from Pennsylvania. So you got PA broadleaf, you've got PA P42 Lajero, and then the remainder, 40% of the filler is Dominican Criollo Lajero, and then a Ecuadorian Habano 2000. And on paper, it sounds like that could be, like
disastrous.
Yes. Like, well, I mean, not even disastrous. I mean, people use Pennsylvania and those types of tobaccos with San Andreas all the time. But I would say like it reads like it would just be like blow your face off, like knock you off your seat powerhouse. And it's anything but. I mean, for me, that thing smokes. I tell customers that, oh, this is medium plus in strength. Yeah. For me, it's like a medium almost, but it's full of flavor, man. And
it's great, man. But yeah, it is. And I'm not gonna lie. When I read the, well, first off, I love Sumatra. I'm in love with Sumatra right now, so that may be why I like all these cigars so much. But when I did read the wrapper and binder and the filler combinations of the Gladius before I smoked it, because I like knowing what I'm going in with and kind of get an idea of what kind of flavors I'm going to pull, I was like, what the and then I light it up and I'm like, I mean, it was kind of intimidating seeing everything used, and I'm like, I'm more curious to see how this is going to work out. But I'm telling you, man, it was a pleasant surprise, and definitely I want everybody in here to try it. And this Connecticut, guys, you hear me preach on Connecticut's. This is what we like in a Connecticut. You're going to get your retro hell. You're going to get the bang. You're going to get the pepper. You're going to get the smoothness and the smokiness. It's just, this is what we talk about as barrel burners when we're talking about the Connecticut's we like to smoke. Donnie, have you lit this one up yet? I know you have it. And I'm just curious of what's your reaction as you smoke along with us. But get the Gladius too, guys. I mean, get them all.
Yeah.
Just get them all.
I mean, look, there's what I've come to realize, like there's a Tradecraft for every serious smoker. Mm-hmm. Because these blends are, I'm pushing the envelope on terms of flavor and kind of unique smoke experience. They're not going to be for every single person's palate.
No,
I could make a cigar that every single fucking barrel burner would say that's pretty like, oh, that's pleasant, and that's, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But I'm not. That's not what my goal is. My goal is to have 35% of the barrel burners say that blew my fucking dick off,
Right.
and be like, I ride with Rob and Tradecraft. Like that's some of my new favorite brands, and maybe some, and then the rest of them be like, oh, this was really good. I like this one, but there's one cigar I guarantee in my portfolio that one person's going to really love. Not everybody's going to love all three. But there's one, I guarantee there's at least one Tradecraft for each barrel burner.
Oh, I think so too.
The Azorian, like we talked about it, like you said, I like the Gladius more.
Yes.
The Azorian it's very complex. It's very Vitola driven. I think you had the Fat Robusto.
Yeah.
The Corona Gorda in that, for example, smokes. It's lights out. Like it's.
But that one's Ecuadorian Habano with a Ecuadorian Sumatra binder, right? The Azorian.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
See, and I'm hit or miss on Habanos. I'm so weird when it comes to Habanos. There's no in between for me. I love them, or I'm like, let me try it again and see. Habanos is like my weird spot. It's crazy. But Espinosa can blend me a Habano, and I fall in love with them every time. I don't know what it is. Habano is I have a love hate with. Everything else is a love right now. Which my palate constantly change. It used to be Maduro, and then it was San Andreas. Right now, if you tell me it's got Sumatra wrappers, I'm buying everything Sumatra I can find. My palate's constantly shifting, and right now my love affair is Sumatra. But
well, you're gonna love the Shinobi when it comes out. I know.
Out. I got excited a while ago when you said it. I lifted my hands in chat. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, that's the
Johnny
first cigar that I really
smoke. He's having it with us right now. I'm digging it. I'm only a little bit in, but I'm digging it. Perfect with my coffee.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. So yeah, the Shinobi is going to be awesome. It's coming out initially as a pre-release exclusive with Luxury Cigar Club, my buddy Chris and Ben over there.
Yeah.
So they're going to have that exclusively for a period of time. Being made at La Isla, 5.5 by 52 grain Robusto, and it's got a dark Sumatran Kappa, like kind of like what. There's tons of different shade variants out there that people are using with Sumatra. I wanted that dark, marbled, rich Sumatran wrapper. San Andreas binder, and the fillers Jalapa, Nicaraguan Condega, Dominican Allure, and Connecticut Broadleaf. All VSO priming, and it is...
Jesus, that sounds so tasty.
And it's the first cigar that I actually blended myself. It took me 6 months, and all VSO priming, and it smokes so balanced. It's like dark, sweet coffee, spices, and just like exactly what I wanted in a Sumatran blend. So
I can't wait to see the artwork of that, because and that's another thing, the art detail on your bands, they really definitely stand out on a shelf. I love the artwork of all the bands.
I don't know if my boxes too. Oh, here's a box. So I designed as a I designed this brand with being a retailer in mind, to be retailer like friendly and retailer forward. So that's the Azorian box.
Gorgeous.
But it's 12 count, so it's 6-on-6. Business card holder. So it's 6-on-6. So the shelf space it's 2 of these boxes equals 1 normal size box on a shelf.
And they stand out. The logo's catchy, the colors logo. I told John Huber at PCA, I said, John, the best thing you ever did was rebrand all your blends with artwork that stands out. Everything got lost on the shelves, and now everything is elegant and beautiful. You have to stand out. There's so many cigars on a shelf in a shop. You have to be able to stand out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm already I'm constantly seeking improvements. So I'm redesigning the box, just the actual, not the size and dimensions, but just like kind of the, right now, I don't know if you notice, it closes kind of just into itself here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm now having it have a lip, so it closes around a gasket almost with rounded edges, and it's just going to enhance it and make it more elegant and luxurious, and make it feel like I can show you right here. See if this comes through.
Oh yeah, more rounded and more like a tight seal on it.
And then it'll close around an internal
airtight seal.
Yeah, so it'll be just like it'll feel more substantial, more elegant, like a travel humidor cut case, which I'm very excited about. So just little things like that I'm constantly thinking about.
So have you done the artwork for the Shinobi yet? You got in mind what you're gonna go after for your artwork?
Oh yeah, the bands are in production.
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be it's a black band, silver kanji script, that the kanji of First Shinobi, and then it's got around both sides branches with purple metallic cherry blossom leaves.
Oh, on a black band, that's gonna pop.
Yeah. And then I did like a traditional Japanese woodblock print box sticker of a ninja climbing a rope. It's going to be pretty tight.
Guys, we're going to get with Rob and see if we can smoke that thing live for y'all when it drops and let you know before pre-orders go live, so y'all go run out there and buy it. We'll see what we can work out and get our hands on that Shinobi. See if we can do a smoke session or a big YouTube live, one of the weeknights or weekend nights, one of the big ones. Because we've done that for other companies in the past. They've sent us pre-release and we've smoked them and gave the club our initial interaction and responses. That way they were able to get in some pre-orders.
Yeah, we could do that. And even before the Shinobi comes out, you'll be happy to hear this. I'm dropping, it's going to come out in August, Gladius box press.
Oh, okay, I'm in. I love a box press.
And the way this came about, when I launched this brand last year, I really launched the beginning of 2026, but we had a grand launch party at my store in November of 2025 to kind of roll out Tradecraft in my store, and then before we hit the market. And Weber came up for that. It was a blast. And for the event, I messaged him like, I want to do something a little special for this. I want to have something cool. I like Padron a lot. And my favorite Padron is the 85. I love that cigar and I love that size. So I had Weber roll me for that event a 5.5 by 50 firm box press. And his box pressing is, it's like it feels like you're holding a Padron. Like it's firm. It's not spongy. I hate soft box presses, especially in a Maduro. So it's firm, razor sharp lines, and the wrapper just looks like silk, and it feels like silk. And when you box press that Gladius, we didn't change anything in the blend, but the pressing of that, it changes it. It gives it more body. It concentrates specific types of flavors, and it really focuses and enhances the dark chocolatey type notes, the savoriness, and some of the spice, the pleasant spice. And it just turns those up to 12, and it kind of settles, and it really focuses on those. And it gives you this different smoke experience. It smokes, I don't like comparing cigars to any other type of cigars, but it smokes like, if I said this was made in Nicaragua by a brand you all know and love, you'd be like, this is a damn good one too.
Well, just a 5.5 by 50 of that Gladius is going to be a powerhouse alone, and then you putting it in a box press, man. That's hype right there, guys. I can't wait.
And I'm really excited about that. It's coming out in August. It's initially going to be releasing pre-releasing between my shop, Tinderbox Haverford, tinderbox.com, and my buddies at the Wooden Indian who are down the road. Yeah, those are my buddies. So we're doing a collaborative, exclusive for like a month, and then I'm going to roll it out across nationwide. But that's coming in 10-count dress packs, which I'm excited about. The cost of that cigar retail is going to be $12.60.
Oh, perfect.
I think it's going to fuck it up. I think people are going to go nuts over that. At that price point, you're getting unbelievable cigar.
Well, we're going to help them go nuts over that because we're excited. And that's our anniversary month, too, for Barrel Burners, guys. A lot of good things happening in August this year. Look at there. We turned 8 years old. He's got a special Gladius coming out.
Special Gladius, 4th core line. It's going to be really fun next few months. And then we have some more stuff in the works. I'm going down to Dominican in 3 weeks. And
so before you go to that part, before I forget, the Gladius, that box press, is that just going to be a limited run or is it going to stay the core line that size? What are we doing with that?
My thinking is going to be
yearly release.
No, I think it's going to probably be start off as like a quarterly because I'm really confident the reception on that cigar is going to be big.
I think so too.
And I don't want to, I have right now I have the Gladius Bellicoso, which was our PCA limited edition. And one thing I tell when I'm talking to guys like you or I'm talking to retailers is I don't want to have my lines be one of these brands with 5 different Vitolas, 6 different Vitolas per line. I think it's, from a retailer's perspective, I think it's asking too much of my retail partners. And so I can't fake the funk and not practice what I preach all the fucking time. So I have the Gladius Bellicoso right now. Those that, as they sit, are over 15 months old. What I'm thinking about doing is, and I still have some more left, I'm thinking about pulling those off. So if you have the Gladius Bellicoso, if you want them, you should buy them as soon as you can. And I'm going to let those sit and age for another year and probably re-release those in a year's time or whatever, and they'll be 2 years aged, whatever I have left.
Are they on your site now? Because I didn't know a Bellicoso existed, and I love Bellicosos. So I'm going to hit your shop before you pull them down this week.
They're on the site. I'm not going to pull them off until I introduce the box press.
Okay, because I'll get on there this week. I didn't know there was a Bellicoso, or I would have got that one.
5.5 by 52 belly, great smoke. It's super sweet. It's a great experience for that blend.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna pull those out, slot in the box press. Let's see what the market tells me with that. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
The feedback. I mean, at that price point, I'm competing with every great, well-priced cigar, and I think that cigar is as good as anything out there.
$10 to $12 is the perfect price range, in my opinion, for a cigar. And I love the fact that you, as a brand, mentioned the fact that about all the different sizes people come out with. Because I'm a firm believer in the cigar should have 1 to 2 sizes, and it should be blended specifically for that size and not stretched across multiple different sizes where it will not carry and transition as well as it was for the size it was intended for. I say, blend for a size, leave it at that. Make them buy that size if they want to try it.
That's what I do. I mean,
100%.
The cigar we're smoking right now, the Vitruvian, is only out right now in a 6x50 Toro, and that's because this Vitola really shines through with this blend. I'm going down, as I was mentioning, I'm going back down in 3 weeks. Part of that trip is I want to be smoking this cigar and I think 3 or 4 new different Vitolas to really see what I want the second size of the Vitruvian to be. And that will be it. Each one of my brands the core lines of these is two Vitolas, Robusto and Toro.
Perfect.
And the Azorian's a 5x54 Robusto. The Gladius is a 5x50. The Toros, each line has different Vitolas specifically because the blend speaks in that size really well, and that specific size and those dimensions express the blend great.
That's awesome. Well, we went all the way around in a circle, and we didn't start with one of the first questions I had for you. How did we settle on the Tradecraft name? I always like the history of how cigar
you
companies
had that out there, then we went down Fuck Street.
And we ain't even hit Z Cavarici yet, but let's get the Tradecraft name over with you.
So the Tradecraft name, when I was thinking about the brand, the identity, what I wanted this brand to stand for, as we were talking about the boutique market, the boutique world we're in today, I'm looking at a 5-pack of Ezra Zion right now, for example. And so we're living in a world today with where Ezra Zion exists, and I do great with their cigars. And I'm looking at street tacos right now, and I'm looking at John Tobacconot right behind me. So I didn't want to be another one of these. I didn't want to be a boutique brand that's like leaning into the boutique edginess for the sake of being edgy. I wanted to create this brand to be timeless, and for it to become my legacy, but still having a firm foothold into like what makes boutiques great and fun, and tapping into that, but also being approachable, classy enough where a guy like my dad or an 80-year-old guy that comes into my shop asking for a recommendation can say, "Oh, this is Tradecraft. Really, I think you might really love their Connecticut. It's called the Vitruvian." So I wanted something that's elegant but new and different. Even like our branding and the logo. It's like I wanted something that could be timeless. My personality and what I'm into, I could have very easily tapped into and been like the fucking Minecraft, you know what I mean? Like guerrilla mind rape. But so I wanted the timeless branding. So Tradecraft in its name and its essence is paying homage to the craftsmanship of the trade and the history of the trade of the tobacco and cigars. That's, quite literally Tradecraft. But I'm also paying homage and tapping into Tradecraft as it relates to spycraft. If you Google Tradecraft, it's a term for spycraft. Basically, that's what they call it, Tradecraft. And I'm super into that stuff. I love CIA history. I love military history. I love special forces. I love covert ops. I'm all about that shit.
We're gonna get along just fine then.
And then I'm also really into history. So I wanted to be able to tap into some of the moments and cultures of history I love the most, and aspects related to that. So that's kind of how the Gladius name came about. So that's really Tradecraft in a nutshell. So the Azorian, that's tapping into the espionage component of it. Azorian was a CIA operation, name of a CIA operation actually, but it sounds tropical. It sounds like an exotic place, and so that name, that cigar for me, is like a very warming, sweet, tropical, sunshine beaming down on you type smoke. And I always lead from the blend first. So the blend tells me what I'm feeling, what I think about this cigar, the types of emotions it gives me. Then I figure out the name, not the other way around.
Right. No, that's awesome, man. And I love cigars with a story and a meaning and something historic. So yeah, that we're both smoking the same thing. Donnie's in chat smoking the same thing too. So your cigars, I'm assuming, even though you own your own shop, you have distribution, and we can get them other places other than your
of
shop.
Course, yeah. Tradecraft is what I want Tradecraft to be, and we're on our way to becoming is one of the best, great new boutique brands in the world. We're in 45 shops right now across the country, and one thing we could talk on this. We'll talk on this in a second, but yeah, we're in 45 shops. I think we're in 15 states now, but you can get them from obviously my shop, tinderbox.com, Tinderbox, Luxury Cigar Club. Those are my boys, great partners to me. Chris and Ben, we've been in a bunch of their subscription boxes. They're on their site. Small Batch Cigar, we're on. Dave's a good buddy of mine. Those guys rock. Support, and I would tell you guys, support those sites before you support my site. I want to take care of my partners and my retail partners because I want this brand is more important to me and building it and maintaining retail relationships than it is for me to make the sale in my own store. So support luxury, support Tradecraft, woodenindian.com. They have a big site. They're on there.
Yeah, Dave and Andrew get all my money weekly at Small Batch.
Yeah.
They are one of the best go-to sites for boutiques.
So Dave, Small Batch, a little story time, was one of the accounts this year for year one that I wanted to land. Like I wanted to get on Small Batch. And I reached out to Dave earlier in the year, and like our signals were just missing each other. And then we finally connected right before PCA, and he came by the booth, and we just hit it off. He's a great guy. We had a lot of fun, and then he smoked the cigars, and he's like, "Fuck." I gave him the Gladius first, and then he's like, "Bro." And then his wife, Kate, who's a sweetheart, she was smoking the Azorian Corona Gorda, and they swapped. And then Dave took a rip of the Azorian and the Corona Gorda. He's like, oh, dude. And he's like, fuck yeah. He's like, we're doing this. Yeah. And then we went out in New Orleans later that night, and we had a blast. And it was like, that was it. Like that sealed the deal. But Dave later a few days later or whatever, he made a post on Instagram, and he paid a huge compliment to me. He's like, he had a picture of the Gladius and the Azorian in his hand. He's like, a lot of great cigars at this show, really impressive, but two of my favorite new cigars I tried this show this year happened to come from the same brand, and that brand's Tradecraft.
That's
huge.
I
was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, they're cool dudes, man. They were one of the first 8 years ago, one of the first online sites I reached out to get us a Barrel Burners code, and they supported us from day one, gave us a discount code, and we've been rocking with them ever since. So they definitely get a lot of our money.
Well, then you guys should definitely hit up Small Batch. And does Luxury give you a code too yet, or no?
No. I've talked to Chris about doing things back in the day. I seen him at PCA. I talked to him. I mean, I know Chris. But it's never panned out where we did anything together.
All right. Well, yeah, I can't say more great things about both those guys. But yeah, go to Small Batch, use your code, stock up on some Tradecraft. I know they had a great brand sampler going. I don't know if it was sold out last time I checked, but yeah. Support those guys. Support me. We're all taking care of each other.
No, I like it. So what else is Rob in other than history? And I know he used to video game a little bit. We discussed on that earlier.
Yeah, what am I into? I mean, I'm super into. I do jiu-jitsu. I like training that a lot. Love eating good food and cooking. Those are my two big things.
Not a golfer yet?
Nah.
You're almost at that age to start golfing.
Bro, I can't. I've been on the golf course. I like playing like 3 holes, and then I'm like, fuck this. And but I tell you, if you invited me, if you were here today and you're like, yo, let's go out. I like going out on the courses, driving the cart, smoking cigs, having some drinks. I like that a lot. I genuinely do. I find it to be beautiful, peaceful. But the fucking chasing the ball around and hitting garbage shots.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a competitive athlete, and to not excel in that, and it just, when you don't excel in golf, it happens to be the most frustrating and annoying thing in the world. So I'm like, this shit's for the birds.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, because I played sports my whole life. I could pick up a sport. I was competitive, and I play golf regularly. I try at least once a week. Golf is the most humbling fucking thing you will ever do in your life, because you can never master it. You will play like shit all day, but you'll hit one great shot that makes you want to come back the next week because you hit one good shot. Golf.
Yeah, it's like you're constantly chasing the dragon.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy being out on a course with a cart, cruising around, smoking
No better
cigs.
place to smoke a cigar.
My ideal would be, it would literally be perfect if I had a fully enclosed golf cart so the wind doesn't fuck it up. That's my only gripe there. But yeah,
you sound like my son. He's like, Dad, let's go play golf. I go, buddy, you got to commit. You're going to play 18 holes because you're not going to leave me there playing by myself the rest of the day. 3 holes in, my son's like, I'm over it. If he makes 3 holes, he gets tired of chasing the ball too. But he plays for school. He does the PGA youth camp. So my son's been dabbling in golf since he was 5, but he ain't committing to a full 18. It ain't happening.
But it's funny because I love watching golf on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Posting up, smoking a cig, watching
That's what
a
the
PGA.
rest of my day will be. My ever Sundays finishing the round of golf.
I went to they just had the PGA championship or Ronamink. I went one day. Dope. Going to golf tournaments in person is way more fun than people think. So I'm into all sorts of crazy shit. Me and my dad, we collect all different types of weapons. I'm a shooter. I love shooting. Done a lot of training with guns. I'm a man.
Well, you'd fit in good here in Louisiana. When you're born, the grandparents buy you your first gun before you can even hold it. So it's like a rite of passage down here.
I've got plenty of different. I got more arms. I got, modern day. I got a lot of rifles. I got a lot of handguns. But we also collect like Pennsylvania black powder, Pennsylvania long rifles. We got long bows. We've got swords. We got Japanese stuff. I love cutting with Japanese swords.
Hell yeah. I would have to I need to look at that sword collection one day. I'm always intrigued by swords, Civil War swords, medieval swords, samurai swords.
Yeah.
Being the history nerd, I love all of that. Are you in any shops around the Nashville area, Rob? Because we're trying to do an 8th anniversary meetup there, and I would love you to be a part of it. But
yeah, I would love to be a part of it too, and I would love to be. Nashville's a market I want to get into. I would love to get in. If anybody has good relationship with Smokers Abbey, Nashville, that's a shop I would love to get into.
That's one of the ones I'm going to reach out to this week. There's 2 or 3 I found online that look like they have enough room to house us. So I got to reach out this week and try to find what venue we're going to pick. That way I can set a date for October. But I didn't know if you were already in any shops, because if you were, we could easily pick one of them shops and have you come down there as our cigar guest.
Is there a reason you're choosing Nashville? Is that like a central hub for you guys?
Just always wanted to do in Nashville. When we've done New Jersey, big anniversaries on New Jersey, we've had them in New Orleans. It's just, I love Nashville area, and I wanted to do something kind of touristy that people would be like, oh, I've never been to Nashville. Let's make sure that we make this meetup instead of the norm that we always pick.
Right.
We've had a shit ton of meetings in Tampa, and so it was a, I think Nashville would be a good appeal, just to change it up. Because a lot of people, if you haven't been to Nashville, you want to go. And if you've been, you normally want to go back. Nashville's a great area. So that's kind of why that was, which I put Nashville and New Orleans in there, but Nashville beat New Orleans big time, which Louisiana isn't that smoker friendly. And then the lounges are very expensive for their drinks and all that shit. So,
right. So Nashville, I mean, I could be in one by October. And if you hit one up and said, hey, if you talk to the guys, for example, at Smokers Abbey, and he's a great, I know the guy Josh that owns that is a good dude. We have some mutual friends in common. I sent them cigars to try. So one thing that you'll learn and you'll hear from me, like when you're growing a brand, I'm in Philly, right? So fortunate to be in Philly's one of the best market, like the tri-state area up here is one of the best markets. It's the best market in the country as far as number of really high quality stores. So we've got a lot of great stores in our backyard, but now I'm at the point where I'm trying to expand across the country, right? And I don't have a national sales team. I'm 7-month-old brand.
Right.
With I don't have a money tree either. So a lot of like the easiest way to try to scale and do that is my sales manager makes phone cold calls. Hey, how you doing? I'm Lou from Tradecraft. Love to send you guys some samples, blah, 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 blah. So you send some cigars down in the mail, and it's unbelievable how difficult of a process that is to try to get from like a cold call to opening up an account with a new store. Because it's half the time the package gets misplaced or whatever. They don't get around smoking them. And then what happens is Lou, my sales rep, calls them twice or 3 times in a month to follow up, because you have to. If you don't, it's just like nothing's going to come of it. But you quickly become and get perceived as like, oh, this guy's becoming fucking annoying, calling me every other week to see how I like the cigars, blah, 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 blah. And it's just a tough way to grow a brand, period. So it's the best way to help is like if you have customers of that shop go into that shop, be like, yo, have you tried that Tradecraft? You guys need to get them in. Like, those are fucking great. So if any of you guys like these cigars and you got a great brick and mortar store near you, put in a good word, let me know. I'll follow up with them, because that's the best way to get in. But one thing I'm doing, and I'm excited to announce this because it's different. Hold on, I need to take a rip.
Yeah, I'm a fast smoker. I'm ahead of the pace here. I didn't have to take the band off.
So one thing I'm doing is I'm like, how do I address the problem I just spelled out? Because I have to grow this brand. I'm committed to growing this brand, and we will grow the brand. But how do we do it in a way that's going to like convert better, present better? So I'm tapping into my relationship network, people who are become friends of mine, really love the cigars and love the brand, want to help it grow. And ideally, like in the beginning, at least, like guys who are like industry adjacent, like you. So I've got 2 new guys come on board, and they're just representing the Tradecraft brand name in their local market, right? So I got Jason, Big Bear in Training, and his wife Anna. You know them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in Georgia. I had a great conversation with him. He's like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Like, I love your cigs. I want to, this is something I was thinking about doing anyway on the side. We go to cigar lounges every weekend anyway. Why not?" So I got him repping Tradecraft now in Georgia and however far he wants to reach. I got a new guy, Frankie from the Simply Stogies podcast in San Antonio now. He's going to help get the brand name out there.
He needs to get you in Club Humidor in San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm going to try to, because Matt connected me with Keith.
Yeah,
so I want
great people.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to reach out to him directly first. But so that's kind of the approach I'm taking, like kind of this new grassroots organic way of growing the brand, where it's like, oh, you have somebody who's crazy about cigars, whether they're a podcaster or an Instagram whatever. And they're coming in as just somebody who loves these cigars, loves the brand, just wants to help it grow, and just presenting it to a shop owner.
Well, I think in the long run, that's going to be better because you have passionate people pushing the cigar, and it doesn't necessarily sound like a sales force out there beating down doors. Which social media these days is free advertisement. It's crazy how much exposure you can get on social media and an Instagram post, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And, the broker route is good for some, but a lot of brokers, they represent, crazy amount of brands. So for being a new brand and their portfolio, they have the A grade brands, the top hitters that it's like their bread and butter. And then it's like you get lost in the shuffle with that sometimes. So yeah, if there's any barrel burners out there that are interested in getting involved, hit me up.
Yeah, he's in Discord. Hit him up, guys. We may just have to name the studio here for Sunday's Coffee and Cigars, the Tradecraft Studio. Who knows? We'll help get him out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've smoked them. I love them. Like I said, the Gladius definitely has a spot in my heart now. I'm going to get those Bellicosas this week. It's definitely something I can stand behind because I really like this. I mean, it reminds me of the early days with Billy and Gus Viva La Vida, where we took their cigars and we ran with them. They were amazing. We believed in them. We still have a working relationship with them now. And when it's a cigar that's that good and everybody loves it.
Billy and Gus are great guys too.
Yes, they are. They are down to earth. We did our first anniversary meetup with them in New Jersey when they had just started out, and we did a big meetup with those, and we've been working with them ever since. If they need anything, they know they can pick up the phone and call me. I can call them for anything. And but that's when we fall in love with a company, we're in love with the company. And I don't think I've ever had one of our members not like a Viva La Vida cigar or El Pupo. So yeah, and that's kind of how I think if I can get more people get their hands on Tradecraft, you're doing everything right. The blends are amazing. You have a great story. The cigars mean something. The name means something. And it's to the point now we got to get more people's hands on them so they can try it and be like, God dang, you were right, man. This is phenomenal. This is
all it takes is just look, like we talked about earlier. There's so much fucking noise right now in what we like and what we do. The craft scene right now. Every week there's a new brand coming out, and when you're a barrel burner type of dude or the equivalent, you're always seeking the newest. You want to try the newest stuff, and if every week there's a new drop that you have to try, it's so easy to like get lost in the shuffle and the noise. So right now it's I recognize this brand is really like seven months old, and it takes years to get just to that level of like mainstay recognition at a certain level of market share where it's like, oh yeah, Tradecraft, like where enough people have heard of a brand where then you start taking off. But if I could get the help and get guys like your squad in my corner now, that means the world to me. And just it's all about gaining that one smoker at a time, and then it just keeps growing. And if you have a shop, if 10 barrel burners went into their local brick and mortar, said, "Yo, I love you have to try this brand. I love these. I would buy these cigars if you brought them in." Of those 10s, I could probably open 6 or 7 new accounts from that, like realistically.
Yeah.
Which is huge for me. So a little bit goes a long way, but most importantly, I care about, I obsess over the customer. I want the customer to get the best smoke experience. that I could offer, and I think we're delivering on that as far as the quality of the cigars. I'm working on ways actually to get my cost down, the retail price, to a point. I mean, my most expensive cigar now is $15, which, that's right in line with a lot of other stuff out there. But I think I'm close to getting it to the point now, I think, where I can get it down almost $1 or more. And if I can get these cigars in the $13 range, it's like all day. I think that's I think we're in a really great place.
Well, would you would you being in both sides of the business, owning cigar lounges and also being a brand now, do you see a day or a time where the wooden boxes are a thing of the past because of the cost that you have to tack onto the cigar just to have a dang wooden box that most people are going to throw away afterwards anyway? Do you ever see that just being a thing that's gone and we just have like cellophane 5-packs or 10-packs or bundles and doing away with boxes?
No, what I think could happen, and I was just kind of daydreaming about this in my own mind, because the boxes are so expensive, right? Mm-hmm. And the Gladius box press, I'm able to price that at $12.60 because I don't have a box.
Right.
That cigar would be $15 with a box.
Yeah.
So that just shows how much, and that's 12 count. So what I could see, I think stores are going to always have boxes on the shelves. There are plenty of shops now I know that have trays in the humidors. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a horrible way of displaying cigars. You get a lot more in there, but you have to go in there like Where's Waldo to find what you want. I could see a scenario where brands might provide a shelf box for a display, and then maybe provide some empty boxes if somebody wanted to make a box purchase,
right,
and pay a little extra, and just send all cigars in bundles.
Yeah.
That could be something. That could be a good hybrid model where you're kind of like, all right, if a customer if you want to walk home out of here with a nice, beautiful branded box, it's going to be X, but all of our cigars, they come in bundles. So the option's up to you. But I'm seeing more like Stolen Throne, all bundles. Like there's a lot, Apostate, right? And it's still like all bundles. They're starting to roll out boxes.
Yeah, I think from a consumer standpoint, like a core release cigar, I'm okay not getting a box for them. But if it's a special edition that's a one-off or once every year, or like some of the My Father every 2-year releases, I'd like a box for the special ones. But I don't care if I got a box for a core brand or not. I'm at a company at PCA. They're a new boutique flashover cigars. They're a group of firefighters that came out with their own brand. And they're 3D printing all their boxes. So that's another cost-effective way more people may gravitate towards 3D printing. It just takes longer, but I don't know how that would keep up with supply when you're putting a lot of cigars out. But starting out, that may be something that works well for a smaller company to be able to 3D print boxes. So I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day because I know that's a lot of the cost in the cigar when we have to pay for the wooden boxes. And I used to keep every box, and I threw thousands of boxes away in my dumpster at work a couple of weeks ago because they take up too much room. I thought I was going to do something with them eventually, and now it's like, what am I going to do with all this crap?
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's something romantic about walking out of a store with a beautiful box. You feel like you have something.
Right.
And it would be like cigar boxes have been one of the things that have been, it's like a historical artifact almost. Like all throughout history, there's been a cigar box that's been used for something, passed down from your grandfather who held his
King
change
Arthur.
in it.
the King Albert cardboard boxes.
Yeah, like I was in my dad's basement the other day. There was like an old box of like Punch and Hoyo de Monterey from like 19 $75. And like, that's just so cool.
Yeah.
So it would be really a shame for those for it to go away.
I kept baseball and basketball cards, and when I was a kid, my dad would have boxes laying around. And I brought pencils to school in them.
Yeah, I did too.
Pencil boxes, the old yellow cardboard cigar box.
I did too, and I got like looked at sideways by teachers. So there might be a hybrid where you have your display box, your shelf box. Stores might keep a few extra boxes, empty boxes in back stock for the guy that wants to go home with a box purchase. Yeah. And they have a price for that. And for the guy that says, yeah, I don't give a shit, just give me a bundle. It's like, okay, we have that too.
Well, that's an interesting take. That's why I wanted to ask you, being on both sides of the spectrum, like, what do you see? Because you not like I said,
I was thinking about this yesterday. I was literally thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, what if I did this? Like,
yeah.
That's it. Nobody's done that. It's interesting. And you basically can sell empty boxes as a separate SKU to your retail partners. But
shit, saving $2 to $3 per cigar when you're buying 10 and 20 cigars for not having a box, that's huge when you're buying that many cigars. Taking the cost of the box out of it. All right, guys, y'all got any questions for Rob before we turn him loose? He's gave us a lot of good information. We're hyped up on a box press coming out. We're hyped up on the Shinobi. Oh, my God, that's going to bring childhood memories back. I may have to break out the Sega Master System and play some Shinobi. As I smoke the Shinobi, we're just going to do it a little different, but I love that. Love that aspect. We have a lot of good people in here today. Not many talking, but we've had some good viewership today.
Yeah, and in the Discord, DM message me your local shop or local shops that you know that really support boutiques, because I'm aligning. I only want to align this brand with shops that are specialty shops, boutique centric, really hand sell cigars and really take the time, energy, and care to put a spotlight on the new brands they bring in, because that's how you succeed. I'm in some most fortunately 99% of my retail partners are that, and we're doing great. But if a shop has 1,000 facings and they are like, yeah, we'll bring you in, we'll buy a couple boxes of each, and then you call them 3 months later, like, how are they doing? You're like, oh, not great. And they're like, well, why not? It's like, people don't know about them.
Everybody's buying our Davidoff Patron and Rocky Patel because the old smokers don't try new stuff.
It's like, have you told anybody about them? It's like, well, not really. It's like, oh, well, go figure. Yeah. So it's like great shops who really do well with boutiques, love cigars, care about hand selling a cigar. We do great with them. So if anybody's got a good recommendation, please message me. And even better yet, if you like the cigars, put in a good word at your local shop. I'll hit them up. And, the rest takes care of itself.
Well, and I'm definitely going to mention your name when I call the 2 or 3 shops in Nashville this week trying to find somewhere to house our event. I'll definitely mention you as well, seeing if we can get you in there. Because like I said, I'd love for you to be a part of the event. Kind of hard to advertise Tradecraft Cigars being at our event if they ain't got your stuff in there and they ain't going to let you set up a table out there and put your cigars on it. So it's like, I would love for us to find you a home and you be at our meetup.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I was a shop owner and I got a call and said, hey, I'm the president of the Barrel Burners, I got 100 guys I want to have an event with you, and I got 100 guys that are going to come and spend money at your shop, and I'm going to have a brand owner come, and we're going to buy the shit out of those cigars too. It's like,
yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. You think they would do there? Let's see. Cigar King in Scottsdale, Arizona would be a great shop boutique.
Thank you, Brutus.
Yeah, he's in Arizona now, so he's got the Arizona area. Cigar Castle in Tampa is a good boutique shop. We have a lot of Tampa burners, and a lot of those guys That's like our headquarters in Tampa. He has a lot of boutique. He's another good one to hit up. And me, I don't have any shops. That's why I started Barrel Burners. I had nobody to smoke with and no shops within 2 hours of me. So
No, I told you got to go to LACC, Louisiana Cigar Collective. Those guys rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out now. I didn't even know that existed. So I'm gonna definitely check that out. It's just the drive to get there. I can smoke in my man cave and not have to drive 2-3 hours.
But they got every single thing you want there, man. And I think they're going to be bringing Tradecraft in a very short while, and that would be a good spot to have an event as a period. They have some really nice events there too.
Hayes Gray Cigars in here. What's going on, buddy? Rob, keep up the great work, the hustle. Best wishes from Hayes Gray Cigars.
Thank you. I've heard good things about that brand.
Let's see. Yeah, me and my buddy we were wanting to open a cigar lounge in our area this year. I didn't have the business plan, everything typed up, and our laws would not require it, man. They did ironclad, no smoking law, and they ruled out specific use category and private club. So we were screwed on all three ways. So
you mentioned Georgia, where my sales rep in Georgia, Jordan, he's Greater Atlanta, but him and his wife, Anna, they drive, like literally what they do on the weekends, they just drive to new shops to check them out. So
nice. Pete is in Atlanta area. So if you can find your cigars in a shop down there, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm talking to a couple shops already. I'm talking to Houston Cigar Lounge in Georgia. He's been supposed to place an order. It's amazing. You get shop owners too who'll be like, yeah, I'm going to bring you in. And from that moment, like where they register on your wholesale portal to get to like placing an order, it could be months. Like, it's just like, okay. Houston's, I know we're talking to. Sheepdog Cigars mentioned. I know they're relocating, but yeah, if you have Jordan my guy Jordan down in Georgia's got a list put together, but if you got any shops that you think fondly of, and please let me know. What's my Rob at Tradecraft on Discord in the Burners group?
Yep, and he's in our Discord too, guys. Look for the purple names in our Discord. If you see somebody's name that's purple, that means they're a cigar brand. So definitely ask them questions, reach out to them, pick their brain. Definitely put their cigars in the cigar. That's how we spend each other's money. That cigar page where we post what we're smoking daily, we are constantly spending each other's money because we see something new we haven't had. FOMO kicks in and we're making an order that day or the next day. So that page keeps us spending each other's money, as we call it. Well, Rob, anything else you want to say to the guys and the people that's going to watch this replay? We get a lot of replay watches on these things for the people that don't want to get up early and
groups like your guys are the backbone of what I do. And it's always a pleasure just getting on, making new friends like you, Jordan, Jason, and just sharing the love of the leaf and the support that I get from guys like you means the world to me. When I go on, I'm in a couple Discord groups and I look at the now smoking pages every day. And when I see somebody holding up, taking a picture of them smoking this cigar or the Gladius or the Azorian and ideally saying something nice about it, it makes my day. It's so your guys' support means more to me than you can know. This brand I want this brand to be my legacy, and I want it to be a success, and I want these cigars in people's hands because I'm super proud of them, and it would be really cool to have you guys come in on the ground floor, and we can look back on this moment 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and be like, yeah, we're part of the Tradecraft brand. We're part of the family, and share like these fond moments together. Cause that's what this is all about. Cigars are meant to be, it's all about the moment. And I'm a purveyor of moments, good moments in cigar form, basically. So that's what I care about. I want guys to for some guys, this is like only good part of their day, which is an unfortunate truth. You know, a lot of people go through a lot of shit. For some guys, it's the best part of their day. And then, you know, for some guys, it's just, you know, a passion, and the hour and a half or 2 hours they get of just time for themselves, of connoisseurship, of enjoyment, stress relief. And that's what these cigars are for. These aren't lawnmower cigars. You know, these cigars are meant to be savored, really contemplated, and give you that moment of like what you love most in a cigar.
Yeah. And I can say, guys, 100% now, because I saved the Connecticut for today. After smoking all three of the core brands, the blends, these cigars are amazing. What Rob is doing is definitely something you want to get behind. I think you guys need to try them. If you don't want to buy 5-packs or boxes, find somewhere where you can buy singles or a sampler. But I can 100% say I'm happy we're getting on the ground floor of this, and we're going to run with Rob and see how high we can take this. Because like he said, he's 6 or 7 months into it. These cigars, you would think, is a 10, 15, 20-year brand putting these cigars out. The Gladius, like I said, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with this Connecticut this morning. It's our type of Connecticut. And I really hope y'all hit Small Batch up or Luxury, or you hit Rob up on his site, and you at least try these cigars and post some pictures about it, and say you talked to Rob on the stream. Help spread the word, because it's going to be fun to look back 2 to 3 years from now and say we were there from the beginning pretty much with this, and watch this brand grow, because he is going to grow. We just got to get hands on the cigars for people to try.
And I appreciate that. And same thing like you guys are doing with the burners and patching in. I'm doing the same thing with Tradecraft. So I'm creating the Tradecraft Smokers Club too, where it's barrel burners or other groups of guys and just normal cigar smokers who just love this brand. They go out of they proactively engage with me. They send me pictures. They send me DMs. I got patches made. And then for the guys who are like become my buddies, really genuine friends, they really are supportive of the brand, getting the Tradecraft hat, and it's going to have Smokers Club written under it. And that's, you know, invitation only, and it'll mean something. Yeah. I'll come out down the road with special cigars, hopefully be able to have events and meetups, and you'll be getting a hat. And I look forward to a bunch of other barrel burners coming into the family, me getting in your family. And that's what it's all about, you know, just good people, good cigars.
Well, I'm glad you touched on that, because I forgot about the club you were coming out with. And as a smoker and a collector, that stuff means something. When you recognize consumers, they're to help them build that brand, and you have that little extra. Well, I got a Tradecraft patch I can post with my cigar, and people's like, well, how'd you get that? And that starts more conversation, that kicks up more activity. So that's awesome. So that's going to be game changing as well for you.
I'm going to have the Tradecraft hat, but then there's the special Smokers Club. I don't even have it on yet, but it'll be the same, the logo, and then it'll be, if you have the Smokers Club, people will be like, oh, he's in.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. And that's it, man. I mean, it's a hell of a ride so far. Fortunately, we have great products, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Constantly seeking to improve and come out with, you know, just a good cigar after a good cigar, and appreciate the time.
Well, that sounds perfect, man. I know you got to get to work. You're actually at the lounge today, so we will end that here. Just stay put for a second after I end the stream, Rob. And guys, thank you all for coming in today. Pick you up some Tradecraft this week. Donnie, thank you for picking up your Tradecraft early and smoke them in the chat with us today. And yeah, check Atlanta area out. He's going to be in some shops hopefully soon there, Donnie's. But I appreciate you getting those cigars and smoking along with us today.
Appreciate it.
Burners, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in chat. And Rob, like I said, stay put, and thank you again for coming in today.
Thanks, guys. Great talking with all of you, and see you guys in the Discord.
Yes, sir. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for watching Coffee and Cigars Live. See you next week.